So another question from Natalie here. She asked about being a single mum, not having the financial support of another person in the relationship, and trying to build your business on a shoestring budget. So first of all, you already all know that a man is not a financial plan. I can't remember who said that first. But I've always been quite independent anyway. So even when I have been in relationships, I want to be able to rely on myself. And plus, when I achieve things, there's no greater feeling, especially as a single mum, not to cancel out anyone else, but as a single mum, knowing that you know, you can make it and you can do it on your own, that's super liberating. It's the same feeling I get when I buy myself flowers. It's not that I don't want some lovely man to buy me flowers. I totally appreciate that. But I also have learned from growing up with a lack of self-love and always seeking approval from others and always finding my happiness from external sources. As I got older and I studied personal development and I learned how important self-love is before anything else, then I learned that there's you know, just take care of number one first and everything else will fall into place. So in terms of building your business on a shoestring budget, the fact that there is or isn't a man in your life is completely obsolete. That doesn't mean anything. I started my first business when I was 21. I quit my job because I didn't like being told what to do. I saw a guy who was doing some cool shit on a computer. I was working for a corporate in London. I was earning good money. Excellent social club. And I looked at what this guy was doing. I went up and said, dude, what are you up to? And he goes, oh, I built the websites for the company. And the only things I was good at school were sports, business, and computers. But they weren't considered academic subjects in my day, believe it or not. So unless you were English, maths, accounting, all that boring shit, which those of you who pull me up on my grammar and spelling, this makes sense, right? So I said, cool, that looks like fun. I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start a web design company tomorrow. So I went out, and here I am in London with no money, but I went out and bought Front Page because that was the software to use at the time. And I read the tutorial in the front of the book. That's how I learned to build websites, tutorials, free tutorials. And then I needed to get some clients. So I thought, right, I had no money. I was a kid living in London. Only money I could afford was Ben & Jerry's ice cream and booze and snake bites at Walkabout and shots at the Redback Tavern. Anywho, I digress. So to get my first clients, I looked around at free networking events, and I went to a bank night where they said they were having an e-commerce night. But I'm like, what the hell does the bank know about e-commerce? Where do I go? Straight ahead. So what do they know about e-commerce? So I went along to this bank night and I took a pen and paper, and I'd spent that day Googling, or whatever the equivalent was at the time. It probably wasn't Google, it was probably Ask Jeeves or something crazy. And I scribbled down all the questions I thought would be most common about e-commerce. And of course the bank talked about pension schemes and never about e-commerce. So at the end of the night, when people started asking questions about e-commerce, I was jotting down their name and their question and I was answering it. And at the end of the night, when they went, has anyone else got anything they want to ask or share? I stood up and I said, Jim, you asked da 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 da. The answer to that is this. And I went around the room and answered as many questions as I possibly could. And then I said, I started a web design company recently. I'm local, I'm in the area. If anyone's interested in getting a website, be that e-commerce or otherwise, give me a yell. And I walked out of there that night with my first 3 clients. And I'm still in contact with some of those clients today, actually, which is, oh God, I was 21 and now I'm 37. So the point of that story was you just got to get resourceful. The other thing is you have to strap on, and you'll appreciate this because my book that's coming out is called Lady Balls. You have to strap on your lady balls. And if you're men, then it's just the same as strapping on your man balls, right? You got to go out there and be ballsy. And I know that everyone hates the phrase fake it till you make it, but when it comes to confidence and putting yourself out there, if you don't feel confident, I reckon you can fake that till you make it. Go out there and strut and stand strong and tall and proud of yourself and strap on your balls, and you fake that confidence until you feel absolutely confident in yourself. There are so many unlimited free resources around us, free things we can do. But if you're in a place of living on a shoestring budget in your business because you're in a panic mode about money, then that's going to stunt your creativity and you're not going to come up with really creative ideas. So another thing I recommend you do is get a group of smart people around. So if you go to free networking events or cheap networking events, find some people who really inspire you and who are creative, and go and have coffee with them, go and take them out to lunch and brainstorm some creative ideas. Just do whatever you got to do to think outside the box. And sometimes, because you have to be so resourceful, you will actually come up with awesome ideas that you may not have if you had the money and were just doing mainstream marketing as well. So YouTube, awesome free resource. Get your videos out there. If that means that you have to strap on your lady balls to do your videos, then absolutely do it. Another thing, you know, we've got social media. Social media is an amazing way to build authority and credibility and get yourself out there on social media. Just make sure that if you watch my other video where someone, Christine, had asked, what is it I do and why do I do it? Go watch that video, because I tell you about creating an offer and putting yourself out there. And don't undervalue yourself and charge too low and think, oh, people already know the stuff, because they don't. There's people out there who want your magic and your genius. So strap on your lady balls, work out what you truly love doing, create an offer around that, and use all of the free resources like social media to get yourself out there, build authority. And even if you have to do a couple of free clients to start, even though I usually wouldn't tell you that, get yourself out there, man. There's resources everywhere when you just think